Hello, this is Footy Corner TV. Welcome to the We're the North Bank podcast. Yeah, we're going to struggle for things to talk about, I think, because I don't think anything's happened this week. So we
Been
are
very
going
dull,
to
isn't it?
be, we're going to be very, very light on content. I don't think we're going to make the time or anything. So it's, again, we have no scripts, so it's kind of we are where we are, to be honest. But I'm sure we can muddle along. But we've got Arsenal domination in the building. How are we, sir?
Yes, very good, very good. The pre-match floor flood has been mopped up. So we're all raring to go for kickoff with you this evening.
Absolutely, happy days, happy days. And we've got SJ. How are we, sir?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much.
Just about recovered.
Yeah, it's been a very good last 7 to 9 days in the football world, so I'm looking forward to today.
Yeah.
Discussion.
Nothing's really happened though, is it? It's just kind of very boring, very
Even if nothing happened, they'll create something somehow to say something happened against us.
Oh, something did happen, obviously, didn't it? Because it's obviously,
someone took win for a poo and didn't pick up his poo. Someone took win for a walk, he did a poop, and no one picked it up.
Yeah, exactly. Arteta took win for a walk and
pick up the poo.
and he put a bag in the bin and he didn't put it the right way up.
Not the right bin, yeah.
So,
I hear Islington Council have issued a fine.
To win, who is now feeling like a loser. But
I heard Pep did it as well, and Islington were fine because he's treated differently, right?
He is treated very differently, isn't he? He can do this. And
come on, I was going to say, come on, you Irons.
Yeah, he can do this, and imagine if my manager did that. There'd be riot acts, wouldn't there?
I actually found it quite funny, to be fair. By the way, that I had no problem with him doing it, but it's exactly the point you're making. Imagine if did it.
Yeah, I did. I found it quite amusing, but I was like, well, it's the double standards that would be in the building if Arteta did it, and I think was it Tadibo that threw the ball at him. He didn't throw the ball at him. He threw the ball to his player on the touchline. And he hit Arteta. And the arrogance of Arteta that he is, he just went, no worries, mate. Well done.
It was. They touched hands after. I was going
to say it was all very amicable.
Yeah. I mean, he literally threw the ball. I mean, he didn't launch it at all. Anyway, did he? He just kind of threw it to his mate, and he just happened to be stood in the way.
I was going to say it was a complete accident. There was no intent to sort of, I suspect had he meant to throw it at Arteta, you might have seen a very different reaction. But
I mean, he did have a stern look on his face to start off with, and then he realised it was just done by accident. He just kind of went, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. So, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the lineup? Because this obviously we had White back in. Still no Timber. We don't know where he's gone.
I think he might be out for a while. That groin injury not getting any better, is it?
Yeah. Well, that's the hope is that Timber's somewhere back, but it doesn't seem to be anywhere near, does he? So it's it looks like Mosquera's going to have to deputise after White's injury as well. But
there's an alternative to that, by the way.
What, Rice?
No, God, no. Let's not do that. No, I mean, there is a genuine alternative, and I would go with Mosquera for the element of doubt, but there is an option to move Calafiori to right back and keep your Hincapié Calafiori as in attacking defensive fullback. I'm being very simplistic and go that because he can play right back, but I think I would go Mosquera Calafiori. But if you wanted to put out a lights out defender at left back in terms of the defensive side because you're worried about the right sided attack of the opposition, but didn't want the both defenders to be really defensive fullbacks, and you want some balance, that is an option. But
Yeah,
it's not,
I can't.
I think it should and will be Mosquera for the element of doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I thought when Zubimendi was coming on, I thought he was coming on, obviously for White, and Lewis Skelly would go left back and Calafiore go right back. That's kind of what I thought was happening. Yeah, you got to be careful putting that bottle in shot.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. On the plus side, though, SJ, you're going to end up on Sky doing interviews, so you know.
Yeah. Did you see that? There was a bit of commentary moment. Obviously, at the game, you wouldn't have seen it, but there was a commentary moment where Arteta basically had an Arsenal bottle in his hand, and he was like, "There's that bottle again."
Wow.
And you're like, "Well, it's clearly not the same freaking bottle, given that he takes it to every single game with him. So it's not the same bottle, is it?" You know, but who knew that the Arsenal manager would drink out of Arsenal branded bottles?
Well, if the Tottenham manager can do it, I'm sure the Arsenal manager's allowed to.
Yeah, well, they're espresso cups. So they're exclusive for Thomas Frank. They are.
Oh, dear. I'll take something seriously at some point this evening. But until
On a side note, actually, we had another manager of Tottenham, not necessarily fighting our corner, but basically saying, you know, it wasn't 100% a foul on the keeper. It was 200% a foul on the keeper.
Yeah, he was very explicit about that. And it reminded me of Arne Slot earlier this season when he came out and said that, I can't remember who was on now, but he came out and said that it was after we played them, wasn't it? And he said he had no problem with one of the Arsenal players, Martinelli, wasn't it? After, he obviously clearly didn't see it.
Yeah, the thing with
the young right back from Northern Ireland, Conor Bradley.
That's it. But yeah, I saw that again today, and basically somebody pointed out it was like, he was only really annoyed because he crawled back on the pitch. You only need to be over the line. You don't need to get right back on the pitch. You don't need to be moving at all.
But to be fair, Martinelli didn't know the injury was that bad, because if you look at the replay, after I cleared the ball, Nelly went straight to get the ball. Then all of a sudden, turns around, this guy is down holding his leg. So Nelly was like confused, like, is he trying to waste time or anything? So
he was looking at the bench at that point, wasn't he?
That's why Slot didn't have any issue with it, because Slot knew that Martinelli did not know how bad it was. But then again, he now tried to crawl back on the pitch, which made it the whole thing a bit shady and all that.
But most managers wouldn't have actually said no. I think most managers would have made the point. Look, tried to hype it up a little bit, but Slot, in fairness, didn't. And as did what's his face yesterday, De Zerbi.
Yeah, but
we have West Ham players saying that the goal should have stood. So I guess everybody just wants to, like, as I saw a post. I don't know how true it is that West Ham was going to protest or write to the league.
PGMOL.
I don't know, the PGMOL about the. I don't understand.
They've dropped the L as well now. It's just the PGMO now. Don't know why.
Rebranding in the hope no one notices they're still shit.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah. I'm not calling them out this week because they made the right calls, and granted, I've heard a lot of people basically say, oh, they just want Arsenal to win it and this, that, and the other. Well, if that was the case, why didn't they send off Bernardo Silva for his
or Nunes, which I think was a bit closer, by the way, but.
What the first one or the second one?
There was two of them. I think he should have gone for at least one of them, but at least there was more of an element of doubt in it, whether did he catch him, etc., etc. Whereas there is no element of doubt at all about Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva has punched the guy in the leg. That is violent conduct, and therefore it's a red card.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Nunes, had to go for at least one of them. I can't remember which way around they were. But I think it was the second one which was clearer than the first, but it might.
Yeah, the second one was clearer.
Yes, it was. Yeah, that's the one I think he should have gone for. I think the first one, there is an element.
Yeah, the first one, he kind of, you could have seen that he almost tripped over himself, or he caught a bootlace and then tripped over himself. But to think that David Luiz was sent off for one of those for not actually doing anything. It's a bit of a strange one anyway, isn't it? But yeah, I think that Saliba's the last one to go for that, isn't he? I haven't seen one since, really.
No, not for us. For Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, have you seen another one in the league since that?
For Arsenal or in general terms?
Just in general, just for anybody.
What are the Tottenham
United,
defenders got?
the one with Manchester United. I mean the
Delo.
yeah, that's
No,
It was on Cunha. I think they were
Palace.
playing Leeds. Palace. I can't remember
No,
the
it's
game.
Palace. Yeah, it was. I can't remember, but it wasn't a penalty anyway. It was a sending off, but it wasn't a penalty for me. That Cunha basically made it dramatic to get into the box, but I think it was a foul, and it was a red card, but I don't think it was a penalty. I think the way he carried it on into the box was a bit out of order for me, but there we go. So yeah. So the game itself and the selection. Who wants to go first of their thoughts when you saw that? You go first, SJ, because given that you were there.
I mean, what was it? Unchanged team with a third game straight. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is liking what he's seen from this lineup. It's been an injection of energy going off the last two performances because we was on a bit of a spell where it was just drab performances, getting over the line. We turned the style on against Fulham. The Atletico Madrid game was more controlled. Obviously, the pressure's on there to get through to the final. You don't go hell for leather and get caught on a break or give away a silly goal. But I was happy to keep the same team. I thought the team was capable of beating West Ham. I kind of underestimated West Ham. I kind of just wrote them off as they're 18th in the league. We should go there and wipe the floor with them. And just looking at the last couple of years have been there, they've been very comfortable wins. And I get it, they're fighting for their lives, but I thought the quality would show through and it would be a more comfortable game, but it didn't really transpire that way. But I was happy with the game. I mean, I got there very early. I got there before it even opened. I thought it opened 2 hours before, but it doesn't. So I was waiting outside for a bit, went inside, got my pre-match meals in my seat, just watching David Raya and the rest of the keepers warm up. Just highly anticipated game. In my opinion, I thought if we won that game, it would wrap the league up. I've since kind of drawn back on that, Need to wait for it to be mathematically done. I was high on the sauce, let's just say. Thinking if we win that game, won the league. But it's to do with Man City dropping points against Everton. I didn't think they would drop points versus Everton. Caught me by surprise. And, I did think of our last 3 games of the season, this West Ham game would be the hardest. I mean, in all respect to Burnley, I don't think they're really going to put up a fight. And Crystal Palace, we know they got their Conference League final 3 days after. But you never know. You still can't write them off, and it's a difficult place to go. The players that come in, they're not just going to walk around the pitch. They're fighting for their place to try and get in the starting lineup. So yeah, I was happy with the lineup, and I was just raring for the game to go. How about yourselves?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as that, to be honest. I was quite happy with the lineup being the same as normal. Like you say, it's been reinvigorated a little bit, hasn't it? So it's kind of that's exactly what we wanted to see, and that's what we got. So I mean, I didn't expect to see Luis Skelly in the Atletico Madrid lineup. So the fact that he trusts him there kind of said that that's what he's going to stick with, basically.
I mean, I thought just on... Oh, sorry, Sparks, go on.
Go on. No, go on.
I was going to say, I thought on the lineup, I felt the only way we were making changes if there was any sort of fatigue or any injury sort of stuff. So Saka, for instance, had just come back. He played, 20 minutes, half an hour. Then he played 60, 65 minutes. Was he going to be back on the bench just rotated in for that reason? Same with Calafiori, Ben White. I wondered if there'd be anything in that. Ben White looked less likely because of the options at right back. Miles Lewis-Skelly, could it be fatigue? They were the 4 I was looking at as possible changes on fatigue grounds rather than anything else. But I felt that if they were all fit, it would be the same team. It was right to be the same team because they'd done so well in their previous 2 games. So a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of fluidity there. And in fairness, until the Ben White injury, we were very much dominant, playing really good football, and you could see that working again. It was obviously the Ben White injury and the subsequent decision around the substitution that sort of changed it for a little while.
Yeah, what do you make of that? The substitution.
I felt it was an odd one in the moment. Instantly, I was like, I likened it, funny enough. I was talking to my son about it, to Pep Guardiola in big games where he overthinks it and tinkers a little bit. I was like, it didn't quite make sense to me. My first thought was Miles Lewis-Skelly's going to right back, or Calafiori's going to right back and Lewis-Skelly to left back. And then it was obviously Declan Rice. And I felt Declan Rice was instrumental in that middle of the park, and it proved to be the case. So I think it was a really odd substitution. In fairness to him, he corrected it at halftime and then in the second half, but he was then using substitutes to correct a mistake. And, I think he's got a lot right with his team selection and his substitution in recent weeks and deserves praise for that. But this one, he definitely got wrong. And you could see it gave West Ham a lift, and we really struggled to adapt to that change because we missed Declan Rice's physicality, his ability to cover the ground in the middle of the park massively as a result of that. But ultimately, he did fix the problem.
Yeah, I just jump in. I think it was a sign of the pressure, the magnitude of the game, what it meant, need to win that game. And I was concerned. I'm thinking if Arteta's thinking to bring Zubimendi on, he's got a team of staff around him. You don't want to be yes men, but surely everyone around me in the crowd said, "What's going on? Like, that's not the sub." I'm sure you all thought the same way when you was watching. Like, that's not the sub. It made no sense. And I can understand if Arteta is, like I say, he's in that situation. Sometimes you go into a state where you just go in autopilot and you just come out of it after thinking, what was I thinking? Why did I do that for? And sometimes you need your staff just to slap you out and say, boss, you sure? We've got...
do you think there was an issue with Mascara?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not too sure.
I'm trying to see when he actually came on. When did he come on, Mascara?
He came on when Zubimendi came off, didn't he?
So yeah, half time, more or less.
No, just off in the second half.
65. He came on and Zubimendi went off, basically, didn't he? I mean, there was. I mean, I didn't see it, and I don't remember it, but there was apparently a massive debate going on before the substitution of Zubimendi between the coaching staff and Arteta that went on for a good minute or so beforehand. So maybe
they were like that for the most of the game, though. To be fair,
yeah.
They were in confabs with each other.
Yeah, I saw it during the game. I don't remember seeing that moment, but that might be because I remember other ones and therefore forget that one. But
yeah, I just wondered if it was a case of right. Okay, well, he was backing him up, so he's saying, well, do that sub and it counteracts it instead of him just going, no, it's all right, I'll just own it. He just carried on with it. So
it was more so the fact that you're taking your best centre mid out of their position. That was the bit that it's just.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were completely dominant in midfield at that point. So maybe he thought that we didn't need as much stability in the middle. So he kind of went, well,
I thought the dominance is because of Declan Rice.
To
apply the pressure and win the ball back.
I think Sparks is trying to get into Arteta's thoughts rather than.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the pressure. You're not thinking straight. You're just thinking.
All I was thinking was more. Obviously, we're more than controlling the midfield, so it doesn't matter if we get Zubimendi on. I mean, if that's the case, why bring Zubimendi on at all? I don't. It is a bit baffling, but. Yeah, it was a bit weird, and as you said, Dom, I think my thought was that Zubimendi would go in the middle, and Lewis-Skelly would go left back, and Calafiori would go right back. That would be because I don't think even the commentary would basically say Lewis-Skelly's never played at right back, but that doesn't always stop them. So it's But yeah, he battled his way out of it. Really, I mean, it wouldn't have been great to take Zubmenzi straight off and switch it up, but eventually works round it, didn't he? So it kind of came back, and then the subs kind of came into their own for it. Do you not? So yeah, what was your thoughts, T?
Well, like you said, I just believe that right up until the point of Ben White's injury, we actually were dominating the game. We had our best spell in the whole game. So I probably felt. I mean, I think he felt that we had them where we wanted them, camped in their half. So rather than bringing Musquera, let's have more players that can actually control the ball on the pitch. So bring in Zubimendi. Rice can play in the right back position, like makeshift right back. But what he probably didn't know was that he didn't realize, or he didn't, what's the word? He didn't foresee was that removing Rice from the midfield was going to give West Ham a lot more space, and then a lot more push, because the moment he made that change, West Ham started attacking. They started gaining confidence to come at us. And we all saw it. There are chances, the Raya save from the flying header and all that. So he gambled it, and then he was wrong. And we all saw it in the 64th or thereabouts, 64th minute of the game. He had to make he had to make changes. Brought in Musquera, and then brought Rice back into the midfield. But the problem with that is that West Ham already had confidence. They felt that they could win the game. They had a chance. So it didn't really it changed our defensive setup, but the tense nature of the game was already there. The game was already high pressure, high stake, and West Ham was up for it. And you saw it with the chance they had in the 78 minutes. I mean, I'm sure everybody had it was had hands in mouth, like, what's it going to happen again? And all of a sudden, Raya came up with the save, and less than 6 minutes after that, we come up with the winner. So, I mean, everybody knows. I'm sure Arteta knows that he got that solved. He got it completely wrong, and he's definitely not going to do it again. The only issue with this match is Ben White's injury, because just before this injury, it looked like he was getting back to the Ben White of old that we knew of. His form was getting better. He was moving better. He was sharper, and then all of a sudden, he's out for the season. Maybe might not even make the World Cup squad. So it was just bad situation for everybody involved. But then I don't think Arteta is going to make that kind of mistake, that kind of sub anymore going forward.
Yeah, he's out for the season as well by all accounts. So he's
MCL, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an MCL. So it's
Do you think that will affect our ability to sell him? Because I think he was out the door anyway.
I'm still not totally convinced, to be honest, about that.
Okay.
I think Arsenal will be looking to sell him and will take offers for him this summer. I'm not convinced the MCL in isolation will, because it was a knock. It was an impact injury rather than a muscular one. The problem is it's yet another injury to add to another injury to add to another injury.
Yeah.
And what it will do, I think it will affect the price. So I think if Ben White had been fully fit all season and playing, let's say not quite at the level he was a couple of years ago, but somewhere close to that, Arsenal probably aren't selling him for a start, but for a second, you're probably looking at a 35-40 million pound sale there. You're probably looking at nearer the 20 million pound mark.
20 to 25, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. As a result, because people aren't going to take that risk so much.
Yeah,
Everton or Fulham will pick him up. One of them teams like that.
Everton feel really right for me for Ben White.
Yeah, I agree. He seems to, feels like,
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Everton are at a point as well where they need
though.
to take a risk on that type of player, where you have to go for the experience of guys that have been there, got a lot, without being too old that they're going to impact. You're going to have to replace them again in 2 or 3 years' time. But when you're doing that, you're taking risks on players that are no longer wanted at these top clubs for one reason or another, and sometimes that can be the injury-related ones. We've done it several times in the early years of Mikel Arteta, because you need those players with that sort of profile. But you're only going to get the ones that aren't wanted, and there's a reason why they're not wanted anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Let me just do these messages quickly. Khalid in the house. Evening, guys. Evening, Khalid. Welcome in. If you are in here for the first time or you're in Dom's channel, please make sure you hit the like and the subscribe. Appreciate that. Huggy Bear 96 says Benny Blanco is done. Unfortunately for our season, yes. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I don't even know how long that is out for, because obviously
4 to 6 weeks normally.
Oh, okay. So it might still get get World Cup games.
I'm not convinced he's going to be fit for the World Cup.
No,
And I'm not sure
no
Thomas
good to
Tuchel
walk.
takes him, as a result of this. But I mean,
Yeah, he doesn't like Trent though, does he?
no. And there is the advantage that White can play centre back as well if needed.
Yeah,
which
so
does make him an attractive option from that point
yeah,
of view.
he definitely likes utility players.
Well, you should do it at World Cup because you can't do anything about it. You can't replace them or anything
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
So
Yeah, and but then I'd have Trent in as well, because purely you can put him in midfield as well.
yeah, I'd also take Trent. I mean, I don't like him in midfield, but he is an option if you need to go down that route.
Yeah. Lee from Gooner Gathering. Make sure you're following his channel as well. Good evening, everyone. Thought it was always going to be a difficult match. What result? Yeah, I thought it was going to be difficult as well. I definitely thought there was only going to be one goal in it. I think I predicted a 2-1.
I think I predicted a 2-1 too. I might have predicted 2-0 with a late sort of goal as West Ham sort of had to go forward in desperation, but I certainly was predicting a tight game.
They didn't really seem to do that though, did they? They were kind of sat
No.
back quite a lot, and then it was like they were almost settling for the point, and then eventually they kind of came back into it. But
I think the Spurs had threatened a couple of times with Somerville down the left hand side. He had a chance, just didn't put a bend on it when he past the post, and obviously they had a diving header.
that was more because we were attacking, trying to get a goal, and they players on.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we're still in our control phase at that time. We weren't rushed to get a goal. It was still the first half, but I think it was closer when Ben White went off and they kind of got in the ascendancy a little bit.
Yeah,
There
definitely.
was
They had that
before,
20-minute spell, didn't they, either side of half time?
Yeah, there was an incident before down on that left hand side as well that got the crowd going. I can't remember what happened. Was it a tackle or maybe it might have been Declan Rice?
Was that?
Something happened, something so minor which got the crowd going for them because they were quiet.
Was it Fernandez? It must have been Fernandez that did that challenge through.
It was something small, but it really got their crowd going.
Yeah.
Lee might remember because he was also there. He might be able to remind us in the chat.
I mean, a lot of the crowd was Arsenal, wasn't there? So
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody else is done. Khalid says he's allowed to make mistakes. Credit to him for changing it. Yeah, we're not just we're not chastising him for it, but just saying, obviously, it doesn't need to happen, really, does it? But there we go. But sorted out in the end.
Yeah, I agree with Khalid. Look, the idea that managers go through seasons.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying
exactly what you're saying. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's infallible. I'm just saying.
But we have to point it out essentially that he did make that mistake, and we have to be objective.
1 second.
I'll do this one very quickly while you do that, Spark. So thanks Tony for popping by. Smash the likes. And Tony thinks we're winning the league, but yes, if you can smash the likes on all the channels this is live on, that would be great. But hopefully Tony is right, and we will be winning the league. Sparks, you back?
What did you think about that early chance? I think we started fast, but a chance where Calafiori got down the left hand side and he could have squared it to Gyökeres, but he tried to go for an outside the foot shot.
The one that was blocked by Mavropanos.
Too much time on the ball.
Yeah,
too much time on the ball.
It was. I mean, because I think from then we had the corner where Trossard hit the post twice. Was it correct?
Twice. Yeah, it was a save though, wasn't it? That.
Yeah, the first one was save, and the second one he just hit from couple yards out. I think if we had scored that goal early, I think
it'd have been a very different game.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But yeah. Lee says Calafiori may have picked up an injury, but at least Arteta made a corrective change at halftime. Yeah. Apparently, on the touchline to celebrate the goal, he literally just went leathering it down the field. And
Yeah, I think he did, but he did look injured. You could see he was holding his groin at one point, and just before the half time, when the ball went out, and he took an age to go over there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think he did have some sort of niggle. It just happened to coincide with the corrections that he needed to make to get Zubimendi back off the pitch. So it fit the narrative, unfortunately.
Possibly a precaution then, from your point of view.
Say again.
Possibly just Arsenal taking precaution on him then. In terms of the injury.
I mean, but just fast forward in the head, hypothetically, who would you start, him or Hincapié in the Champions League final? Given that PSG are most likely going to have the ball and attacking us, they're a very direct team. I would say Hincapié is better defensively. Calafiori offers more going forward, but we could be, I won't say under the cosh, but yeah, under the cosh to some extent.
I think we should be worried about the right back position right now, not the left back.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, right back first, and then
I think I would say you have to see who the right back is.
Yeah, I mean, Timber, he came out in the not to warm up, but he was watching the boys warm up, and he was walking off, and it didn't look like the same limp from the Madrid home game. But I think he was more cognizant that people are watching his gait now, so he's trying to keep it together, right, left, right, left, right, left, because he realizes everything gets analyzed, hypercritical.
Oh yeah. You got to walk out there.
You can't do
anything else. Lee says, with Coleman likely to retire. I mean, I thought he had retired. He's got more injuries than God knows what, to be honest.
He must be about 46 now, isn't he?
He's just ridiculous, isn't it? Always out though, isn't he? White feels a good fit for Everton. He's was that
that was Ben White we were talking about earlier.
No, I know. Who said Everton?
Yeah, we just put it out there. Yeah.
Evening, gents. Dinny here from the Lake District. Do you think Subby has played himself out of the team for the final? SJ?
The problem is, because we've had this formation change, it looks like Zubi's been the scapegoat. And people have been forgetting that early this season, he's been one of our most instrumental players, especially...
Yeah, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
We started the first half of the season, we started fast, we were getting after teams. He was a part of that. He was an instrumental piece in that, setting the press. Obviously, we changed our ways, the way we set up. Maybe mid-December, early January, we kind of sit off teams a little bit more. But I get the arguments against Zubimendi because I think he has stopped with his progressive passing, and he seems to be. I mean, he could be tired. I don't know. I mean, I did check out his minutes. He does play quite a lot of minutes. He has played quite a lot of minutes in his at Sociedad, so it wasn't a case of like he's playing a super amount extra more minutes.
Yeah,
it was only 2,500, wasn't it? At Sociedad, he played was his maximum.
I thought it was a bit more. I thought it was when I looked yesterday, I thought it was a bit more on Transfermarkt. But what I would say is obviously the speed of this league is quite different to the Spanish league. It's a bit more slower, a bit more regimented than the build up. So, I mean, I'd agree. Arteta hasn't really helped him in terms of reduce his minutes. We're having Christian Norgard there could happen, but again, that's just a learning curve. Has he lost his place in the final? I don't know. It's a tough call. You'd think he'd start because he's played every round up until now, apart from that second leg against Madrid, and he's an experienced player. He's played in the biggest games, European final. He's come off the bench and won the game win the game for Spain. It's a big call, but that's Arteta's job and not ours. I would go with Zubimendi for the final. I think Arteta will stay loyal. Yeah.
I think his lack of form, sort of in the last few weeks and months, has been tiredness related. I think I've defended Mikel Arteta from accusations of rotation quite a lot, but the exception to that is the midfield too. I think, as you said, Norgard could have played earlier. Obviously, people are going to say Miles Lewis-Skelly, but actually, I think the introduction feels about right for Miles Lewis-Skelly, maybe a few weeks earlier, but nothing major. But I think the decision on the final is not necessarily going to be about form. It's going to be not solely down to form. I think it's going to be, do I want Martin Zubimendi, the experienced midfielder who understands, what these big occasions are about, has the experience of playing in big matches and, understands the game maybe a little bit better and the role a little bit better than Miles on account of his age and stuff? Or do I want the player in form who's playing really, really well in Miles Lewis-Skelly? And I think that's how Mikel Arteta is going to have to weigh this one up at the moment. I don't know how it's going to go either.
You shouldn't forget though, this same Miles Lewis-Skelly last year at 18 played PSG and he played well both legs. Let's not forget that. So the thing is,
different position though, isn't it?
Yeah, different position. I can say.
Yeah, but the thing is, he inverted into the midfield too. So
He
I
did.
understand.
Inverting's different though. It's you still have
Yeah.
the map and you've got that extra player, so it's not quite the same. So
Yeah, but Skelly he's a midfielder. He's not a left back.
Obviously that puts him under more pressure. So obviously it puts him more prone to kind of mistakes and whatnot. And I think that's probably what he thinks.
The thing is, for me, if he's going to be playing with Skelly, then Eze doesn't start. If he's playing Zubimendi, then maybe Eze starts. No, because you can't have Skelly and Eze both in the midfield. They play they kind of take almost similar risk. So having those two in the midfield might not work. So like you said, like SGA said, I mean, it's Arteta's call. Nobody has that responsibility on our shoulders.
I agree with you. He has to get the relationships right. He needs to look at the relationships with players and literally. I don't know if you remember FIFA from years ago. He played Ultimate Teams with the chemistry. He literally has to get the chemistry of the team right with what we're going to face in terms of PSG's attack. Because PSG are one of the most direct teams in the world. They don't really pass around the back and build up. They just literally direct, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, go, and they're relentless with it. So
those 90 minutes are going to be very fast.
Yeah, I definitely think that Rice and Zubimendi is going to be the key for that one, because he's going to want to try and lock up midfield and not let them kind of control the game and take control ourselves really. But obviously we can't overcommit like we do in the league. So you can't play that high line because we'll just get destroyed. So I think everything's got to be a bit more composed, and like I was saying before, where it was like you've almost got to keep to a back four, so that you've got that cover, and you don't want them necessarily marauding too much. So it's going to be a bit more conservative for me, but you've got to have certain players back in order to kind of cater for their counter attacks.
Well, do you think Arteta, looking forward now, thinking who's going to play in that team, and obviously we've got the conundrum at right back. We need to take this Burnley game and Palace game as basically games to practice ahead of that PSG game. Obviously we're going for the league still, but you don't want to chuck in the Calafiori at right back. I know he can play like he played it before, but you want to maybe get used to the position ahead of that game. If it's going to be Mosquera, I think Mosquera still has a bit to learn. I think at times he's too aggressive and gets turned very easily. And if he does the rest of PSG, he'll get caught out a few times by Kvaratskhelia, because he did that against Upamecano in the semi-final second leg, a 1-2 around the corner, and they were gone. And it was 1-0 after 2 minutes. So if it's going to be Mosquera, I think he needs to be playing against Burnley and Crystal Palace in the manner that he will play, or not in the same manner, because obviously Burnley are just a different kettle, but just maybe try and just alter his game more to how he will play the PSG ahead of that game.
I think the Burnley game needs to be high octane anyway, no matter what we do. I think it literally just has to be get the game done, get some goals in, and then if you want to shut up shop or settle it down when it's 4 or 5-0, then do that. But I think it needs to be done like as early as
Basically, like the
possible.
Fulham game.
I just
Just
think it
after
should
3-0,
should just be it should be that handbrake is off. Everything you just go for it, get the game done, get it won, and then you can either rotate players into it.
So what I would say is that he did bring on Mosquera after 5 minutes at Anfield, and he did start Mosquera the other week against City away. So he has played in big games. He does have faith in him, it seems, to play in the big
No, but the thing
occasion.
is playing him at right back. Now that's the bone of contention now. Playing him at right back. I mean, he's
He
played
played
centre
right back.
back.
He played against City right back. You know, Doku's not. I think he got booked early against Doku's. Kind of hampered his game, but yeah.
I'm not sure that he won't start Lewis Skelly there and invert him into midfield.
At right back, sorry.
At right back, yeah.
Oof.
I think that's very experimental.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you got 2 right backs out, and you've only got Mosquera left, and he still likes to do the 65 to 25 minute rotation thing.
But what if he goes 5-4-1 on the defensive formation? That's why you're being defensive. Like depending, like how you go with Mosquera, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, and
If Calafiori is fit,
probably if Calafiori is fit, then probably Lewis Kelly or Rice can. But it's great. I'm trying to look at it defensively, because the thing is, PSG, their best form of attack is from the wings, the left and the right. You know, Dembele, Doué, Bakola, Kvaratskhelia. They are all coming from the wings. So that's where they are most dangerous. That's
what I mean. That's what I mean. So you've got Mosquera, who kind of only fit right back. So
yes.
Do you just protect him, or do you put do you play Salmon on the bench for cover and then switch it over from there? Because if he's the only right back we got, and we go into the Champions League final without a right back, yeah, I think we're pretty
Is
screwed.
there a chance that Timber can be fit for that game?
Well, we don't know, do we? We don't have any information. There is no information whatsoever.
Mystic
Honestly,
Arteta.
I don't want to worry about that game right now, because we still have a league to win, like SJ said.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
I believe we win this league. That momentum, that confidence carries us over into the Champions League final, because that's what I feel like. They win this league, the boys know that okay, now we've won the league, it's wrapped up. Now we have a chance to go and make history, because it's not just about doing the double; it's about being the first team for this club to win the UEFA Champions League. So I just think one game at a time. I mean, we know the options we have anyway. It's either we use Mosquera there, or convert Calafiori, or Lewis Kelly. Those are the options we have. That's 3 players. I don't think Arteta should be thinking too much about it. Worst case scenario, he puts in Nkapie there. Let's just say, like, worst case scenario, okay, Nkapie go play right back, Calafiori plays left back. But right now, Burnley is the next game. Like Spark said, if you can go up 2-3-0 in the first half, you can rest some players and maybe then try Calafiori or try Lewis Kelly at right back, maybe with some 20 minutes to go, and see how he fares. So basically, let's just face the next game at hand, because that PSG game is going to be very, very difficult right now, because we don't have a proper right back that can match Kvaratskhelia for pace and also defend.
I don't think anybody can match him for pace, to be honest with you.
No, but the thing is, you might be able to match him for pace in the sense that you check
can push
his
him up
runs.
the field.
Exactly, you check his runs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is what you do with White, isn't it? You pin him
Timber
back.
is a kind of player. White is also a player that can do that. Some dark arts, if you want me to call it. Like, you know what he's capable of, so you stop him. You check those runs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dicey situation. Well, it's Arteta's call. It's the coaching crew's call. So I'm sure if we fans are thinking about it like this, imagine what is going on in the locker room with these coaches right now. Like, they're definitely doing different. Like, different formations, formulas, permutations,
Oh,
like
of course they are.
pushing
Yeah,
what
I
it
mean,
could go. Exactly. So eventually
Yeah.
they're going to get it right. I mean, it's
Difference
two
is
and a half
he gets
weeks.
paid £10 million a year. We don't, unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately,
So,
But-
I mean,
But T is right though about the one game at a time, right? I mean, Trossard said it after the game, but also I think Arsenal winning the league, I think, is that big release of that pressure cooker. Like Sparks, we
Yeah.
talked about it before the Carabao Cup final.
yeah,
You know,
I think that's
that
the
was
same
almost
thing.
the most important bit. But this league is the same. Winning that first one is going to be so important, and it will just ease some of the pressure going to Champions League final. Of course, the expectation will be there that we want to win it. Of course, the weight of history will be on them, and the
Breeds
players will want to
confidence
win
as
it for
well, doesn't it?
themselves. But exactly that. It breeds confidence and imagine the pressure on the players if they've not won the league, and then their whole season comes down to the Champions League final, and on Mikel Arteta as well. Like, it's going to be huge. So winning the league now is got to be priority one, and you do whatever it needs to be to do that, and then you worry about who plays right back in the Champions League after.
Yeah, my mate basically said to me, he said if you've won the league, which he thinks that we have anyway, he said basically the Champions League finals a free hit.
I agree, actually.
So you've won the league already, so it's like, well, there's no pressure to win something big now. There is pressure in the sense that we've never won it before, but that's not on those players.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
it's like if you do it, then it's amazing. But if you don't, then it's not on you. You know, at the end of the day. Lee basically says the salmon is a good shout. He won't look like a fish out of water. He put 2 laughing emoji faces. I definitely don't think it's worth 2. And you're rolling as well, so yeah, definitely not rolling. You're in competition with Dom there of worst joke on the stream.
I think Lee might have won it tonight.
I think Lee might have won it. Yeah. Dom, what did you make of Odegaard when he came on?
I thought it was fantastic, actually. Mikel Arteta obviously made the change to go to 2 10s and a single pivot rather than the double pivot and the single 10. And look, Martin Odegaard has had a difficult 18 months or so, 2 years, arguably. People criticise his leadership and his captaincy, but I thought he was immense on both regards in terms of quality and leadership on in that sort of cameo at the weekend. I thought he knitted the play together and led the press as he always does. But he looks like we've seen touch of it at times, but we saw less of the safety stuff really in that moment. And yes, people criticise him for taking too many touches. Yeah, I've already had a go at you over that joke, Lee. But to be fair, so I'm only jealous because I didn't think of it first.
Yeah.
I definitely wasn't working during some of that conversation. But people criticise him for taking too many touches, but sometimes it can do that. And he took those touches in the penalty area under pressure with close control and waited for that gap. And Trossard as well lost his man. So the two of them deserve a lot of credit. But Odegaard, I thought, was absolutely fantastic. And then I'm sure we'll talk about it in a minute, but the VAR, he went straight to the referee, shoved the players out of the way, made sure none of them got into trouble, and spoke to the referee, as he is allowed to do as the captain. And I thought he just showed some leadership there. And I've spoken about leadership before. Look, most of us want that heart on the sleeve that we can all see, Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, but there are many different types of leaders, and we've got some of them in Gabriel and Rice. Odegaard leads in a different way, and that's why I'm not bothered about who the captain is, because I think you need all of those. But he showed that he can take control calmly in those situations, and I think that's exactly what it needed in that moment.
Can you imagine Gabriel in that situation?
Yeah, exactly.
Captain, he'd be proper in his face, and he'd be proper.
Roy Keane, he might headbutt him like he did Haaland the other week.
Yeah, he'd be really annoying. So certainly in that situation, I was glad he wasn't captain.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong, there are times when you probably need that, which isn't Martin Odegaard's game. It's why you want those variety of different players in that leadership group.
Yeah, for sure. It feels like after him getting caught out on a half turn leading to goals,
Mrs. Zubi,
he stopped doing that movement. He plays the ball backwards or sideways. I think him making thoughts mistakes has affected him. Yeah, but I just think he's slightly fatigued as well, and it affects players differently. And Yeah, it's a new league for him for a start off. It's probably twice the pace of the La Liga.
I also don't think it's just him either. I think the pressure's got to them sort of in recent weeks, and then we lost at City, and the pressure kind of came off strangely in some ways.
I was just about to add that it kind of came on and then went off, and it's almost, rather than it being a team pressure now, it's an individual pressure. Do you know what I mean? So it seems like that's what it is. Sam Wilson says, evening, folks. Evening, Sam. It still feels like a dream. Final push now. Yeah, not long to wait. And hopefully we can, get Burnley out of the way quite comfortably and see what happens with City with their 2 games. So, hopefully they're not only 2 points behind.
3 games actually, but then the funny thing is,
for us.
Everybody here watched the Invincibles, watched the 0-2 title winning team, and I think in 98 thereabouts. So I think I just look at the young Arsenal fans, the ones that are probably say 20, 26 and below. They have never actually celebrated an Arsenal title win. I wonder how it would be for them to actually celebrate this win after all the years of banter, bottling, and all that. I mean, I tell my friends here that they can't banter me for not winning the league, because I've seen my team win the league multiple times, but they always banter Arsenal like, "Where's your Champions League?" Like when we are talking, like when we are auditioning ourselves, then everybody says, "Then I want to button like, where's the Champions League?" I'm like, okay, fine. I haven't won the European title, so let me just sit back. So I always tell them this, that all of them, before they started supporting their clubs have already won the Champions League before, except for Chelsea and City fans. And we all know that most Chelsea fans were Arsenal and Man U fans that jumped ship when Abramovich money came in. So I always tell them
City fans now, aren't
Yeah.
most of you most of you didn't see your team win their first Champions League title. But me, I'm going to witness Arsenal win their first Champions League title before.
Oh, hopefully.
I hope so, yeah.
Hopefully, May 31st, the morning, I'm going to be putting on my Arsenal jersey and I'm going to be walking down the road. I told some guys here, I mean, they've been on my case from the beginning of the season. In fact, when we dropped those 6
Are
points,
they Man United fans by any chance?
no, that Chelsea fans. No, see, that's the difference. The dynamics is different over here. Over there, United fans are probably the ones that are giving Arsenal fans the most. Right here in Nigeria, it's fans. As in, they're all over the place. They are there. They are like this. They're on my shoulder to the end. They rather stay to the end and then we now banter them, because let's not forget, if Arsenal wins this league and wins the Champions League, Chelsea becomes the new banter boys, because they're the ones that will probably be playing Europe next season. They're probably going to be going through a massive rebuild, and they know that winning any major trophy is going to be like, it's going to take like at least 5 years. So
I disagree with you. I think it's Man United, to be honest.
Well,
I know that they're going to play Champions League football, but they're 13 years, so they're the next furthest behind from winning.
Yeah, but the thing is, they will be in Europe next season. So
I mean that I'm asking, but I mean,
exactly.
you don't know how long they're going to stay in Europe. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, but the thing is,
the first step is obviously qualify, but the second step is to stay in. Yeah.
So, that's the thing. So this month is decisive. Arsenal right now can end the banter era. This month we can end it all, as in banter just stops.
Better.
So that's the thing.
Khalid says we can't be experimenting in do or die games. If you can't experiment against Burnley, mate, I don't know when you can. Burnley got nothing to play.
Burnley at the Emirates, they're down already.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, I can where SJ was basically saying that he thought West Ham was going to be a pushover. I didn't think West Ham was going to be a pushover at all, because they're fighting for their life. They've changed the manager, they've changed the style of play, they've changed everything that's that's coming with it. So, but Burnley, man,
West Ham needed that point more than we needed it. I mean, if the game had ended in a draw, the point would have favored West Ham more. And then looking back at what happened to Tottenham yesterday, if they had gotten that point, it would have been a massive point. in their
Oh, yeah, for
in
sure.
their
Yeah,
relegation
massive.
battle.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would have been huge for him. Yeah.
I wonder how much it
Uh,
affected Spurs last night as well. Had West Ham got a point on Sunday?
Yeah.
Look, the thing is with De Zerbi coming in, I reckon if he'd come in with maybe another six games or something like that, I think
Well, they wouldn't be in
fine.
this mess.
They'd
Yeah.
be well out of it, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's tricky. I mean, just like the title race, this relegation battle will probably go to the last day because Chelsea. I don't see Spurs beating Chelsea. I mean, the game may end in a draw, but they are playing Everton on the last
They're
day.
both rubbish at the moment.
Exactly, but that Everton game, that's the game that I really want to watch. Spurs Everton.
Who have West Ham got left?
West Ham, they're playing
Newcastle and Leeds.
Newcastle and Leeds. Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's still touch and go for both teams anyway.
I don't see them winning either of them, to be honest.
That's the problem. I don't see both teams winning either of their last two games. That's the problem.
No, I really don't see. Yeah, Newcastle's away at St James's, 5:30, and Leeds at 4:00. Well, but they're all at 4:00, aren't they?
They're all,
Yeah.
they're
Last
all
one of
the
the
same
seasons,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that. But
I think West Ham will get a point at St James's.
do you?
Yeah, I think they might. Yeah, Newcastle and
Way at
Dire
St
form.
James's.
Yeah,
They get a point there, and Tottenham loses to Chelsea.
then it's game on.
That might be, it's game on. Seriously.
But West Ham would
Yeah,
have to win their
see.
last game of the season because of goal difference. It's massive against them.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they go and they got Everton, and Everton are going for Europe.
exactly. So it's
Yeah, I can't see it. I just can't.
I
see
think
it.
West Ham are going down. I mean, West
I think
Ham have got
done.
West Ham have got Leeds. I
It'd
could see them
take a
beating
miracle.
Leeds. I could see them beating Leeds on the last day of the season if they had to. But I mean, my gut feeling is West Ham are going down. But they've got to win one of these last two games. 2 draws isn't enough.
no.
It's
Not
all
unless
right for
Tottenham get battered twice.
Yeah, Spurs could get a draw maybe.
A draw.
They only really need a draw.
Yeah,
a draw might be enough for Spurs.
Yeah, because then West
One
Ham,
draw
even if
because
they
of the
won
goal
one, they're
difference.
still down on goal difference.
Yeah.
By the way, are we wonkering Lee from the chat for that seasoned joke?
I can't afford to wonga anybody from that. Yeah, well, I was letting it stew on there, Lee. Season comedian.
Fish stew, presumably.
Definitely something at work, but anyway. Is that Josh?
Yes. Evening, Josh.
Hi, evening, Josh. Welcome in, sir. Another undercover gooner.
Josh was also undercover at the London Stadium on Sunday.
Gunnar Gatling was going to do the same for the Palace game, but they're on high. Apparently so. Apparently they're linking up now tickets that have been linked before to their club or to the other club. So they're basically linking it with a database. So apparently they're doing it the same for Burnley because they there are people trying to get the away end.
Yeah.
Because there are no home end tickets left. So yeah, you want to be a bit careful with that one. But there we go. So yeah, should we go with the controversial incident as it's been pointed out? I'm not sure what's controversial about it at all. I think that they got the right decision. I don't know if you've watched Mic'd Up, which I don't normally watch at all because it's normally complete nonsense. But yeah, I watched it through, and there's the process seemed okay, and they arrive at the right decision. So I can't really say much about it. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, my first instinct. I misspoke in my. I used sort of loose language in my instant reaction, and I called it soft. That wasn't quite what I meant, but what I meant was that I thought it was going to be ruled out because I thought he was blocked off, and that was nothing else, right? you watch it again, and what I hadn't seen, and I still hadn't seen it when I did my match reaction video.
Have you seen that one?
Yes, I've just seen it. I saw you
Jesus
smirking.
Christ.
And you, so yeah, come back, Dom. All is forgiven. And even when I did my instant match reaction, I hadn't really appreciated the holding so much, which is, I didn't think it was, I called it soft, not because I didn't think I was impeded in terms of getting there, but I really feared it was going to be ruled out. And once he got sent to the screen, I was like, oh, we're fine. Now, I didn't relax until he was sent to the screen. So my instant reaction was like, Arsenal got away with one here. Having seen it several times since and sort of calmed down from the emotion of it, it's very clear it's a foul. I hadn't appreciated in the moment the holding was for as long as it is. I'm less worried about the arm across because I think you can argue there's an actual sort of movement there, but it's clearly a foul. And my reaction in the first 5 minutes after the game was very, very different. Even in the hour or so after the game, because I did bedtime routines and that sort of stuff. So I didn't really see it again fully after the sort of the game ended until much later, but it's definite foul. There can be no argument. And when you've got the likes of Jamie Carragher saying it's a definite foul, there's no question about it. Like,
even Neville said it was a foul.
Exactly. And look, those two, when they do serious analysis, can still do some very good serious analysis. I think I spoke about it with you the other week, Sparks, about the corners against Newcastle. I think it was Carragher to break it down then. And his actual analysis, when he's just stick to analysis, can still be very good. When he goes for this banter stuff, it's awful.
Depends which show he's on.
Exactly. It's definitely it's definitely a foul, and there can be no complaints about it because Raya was impeded. And I think Terry Fleurs has had a 5k bet, hasn't he, in the last couple of days? Is there anyone that can find
radio silence?
Yeah, exactly. And that
he just basically said if anybody can produce a clip where Arsenal have been awarded a goal like that, where the hold is on the arm and it's held for so long, and he basically said 5k because you won't find it.
No, and my instant reaction was definitely wrong, no question about it. But I was genuinely concerned that was not going to be ruled out. I was genuinely very, very worried. That was a very, 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 very long 5 minutes.
So, but the thing is, okay, sorry. Like I said, Dom, initially the ball went in. My mind went to the Wolves game. Same thing, last minute equalizer. Like, but then again, I watched the replay once. I saw the replay once. I knew that this wasn't going to stand. Now the problem, one of the major issues why this is still a debate is the amount of time.
It's not a debate.
Oh, not a debate, but a talking point rather. Sorry, yeah. Why is it talking point? Which it shouldn't be really. Is the amount of time it took for the referees to now come to a decision that a lot of us came to in less than 10 seconds the moment you saw the replay. So the thing is, now it begs the question: why did it take so long? What was the referee looking for? I mean, there was a player pulling the keeper at the back, pulling the jersey. Another one had the arm all the way across to his left hand, holding. Like,
I'm gonna start.
What? Why did it take 5 minutes?
I reckon they were looking for a reason to give it.
Exactly. That's exactly. And Footy George Moon, that's what he said. Because there was nothing else. I mean, he was probably looking for a reason to give the goal because, like they said, it was a very major decision in the title race and the relegation battle. The decision there is probably going to either cost Arsenal the league title or relegate what's it called, West Ham. So the referee was doing everything possible to make sure that this decision was stonewall, foolproof. If I'm going to give the goal, nothing was going to come back to me. If I'm going to rule it as a foul, nothing was going to come back. So he looked at every angle, made sure. I'm sure it was like, I can't get this wrong. I can't get this wrong. I can't get this wrong. That's why it took.
And to be honest, I don't care about the time. I don't care about the time. So long as you get that right decision, I don't really care about the time. To be honest.
It's really important they took the time to get this right. It was a huge decision for Darren England to make, especially after he got the Luis Diaz decision wrong a couple of years ago as well. That people have said that might be on his mind, but this is huge. Even without the Diaz one, it is a huge one for the reasons he said. It's relegation and the team title on the line on one decision potentially.
Who do you support, Jones? Just let us know, mate. They're toing and froing with ridiculously bad jokes. We want Spurs to survive because this is kind of what I said as well. Because everybody was saying, "Oh, well, I want to see Spurs get relegated. It'd be funny." No. Well, yeah, and I was of the opinion that earlier in the season when we kind of went, well, we could have it done. We could run away with it, or and we failed to do so. But had we been those points away, I kind of joked that we just let West Ham win, and relegate them. But honestly, I don't care about them enough to affect my results. I don't care. And that Abby Summers, is it Summers?
I hate Abby Summers, but yes.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say I hate her because I don't.
The content is working.
I don't know enough to hate, but I mean to basically be so angry that your rival has won a game that's going to benefit you is just crazy, because she literally just lost the plot completely, run off out of the studio because in fact everybody in that studio, it was a bit of a it was crazy, and you could kind of hear the producers going, yeah, you need to calm down, because you're just screaming, you just couldn't hear anything. It was literally just like a YouTube watch along channel. It wasn't like a highly funded sports show. It was literally just like, well, it was like watching my channel with three of us just screaming at the screen
in a shed.
In a shed.
If the roles were reversed, if the roles were reversed, I 100% want Spurs to win that game against West Ham on Sunday because it gives my team a chance to stay up. There's no question about it.
I mean, I don't understand any kind of other kind of logic.
It's mental, right?
Yeah. See you later, Lee. Thanks, mate.
Lee's finished.
Oh God! Stop it! Oh my God!
Oh boy!
Oh God!
Has Dom won the title back now? Has he gotten his title back?
He's killed my soul. But yeah, I just don't understand why. If it helps your team, do you actually want to get relegated? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense to me either.
Well,
and evening Tom, by the way, has just seen him in the chat. So evening Tom.
You've seen who?
It's 14th Canon. His name's Tom.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. If you are in the chat, please make sure you're hitting like and subscribe to all three channels, actually 4 channels. So we've all got 4 the channels, and they're all as you see them on the screen. So if you can sub to all of them, that'd be much appreciated. Yeah. But yeah, I just don't understand not wanting your team to do well just because it helps your rival. I mean, for all intensive purposes, it's done anyway. But them getting a point doesn't help you at all.
No.
And whether you expected to beat Leeds, I don't really know, but they didn't look very good. I do think that they should have had a penalty, though. I mean, I don't know if you watched the game, but I do think that Madison, I think it was penalty.
That touch was so minute. Like, honestly, I didn't see the touch. I still didn't see it, but the still was there.
But it was his knee on his quad that I kind of thought. Yeah.
For me, first glance, I was like penalty. I saw the replay. I was still like, yes, penalty. But then again, well, I guess. I mean, let's be fair. They're being consistent because remember that
What
penalty
that
shout,
minute touch on the
the
ball.
one with the one on Gyökeres. I think who did we play? Was it Everton? I can't remember again.
It
we
was
played-
Newcastle.
It's Newcastle. So I mean, you get the ball. It doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah.
after.
No. But that was different though because he only touched the ball because Gyökeres kicked it onto his foot.
Yeah, but I'm saying the logic is the defending player got the ball.
You know
regardless.
what I'm trying to say though is that is wrong by their own ruling because they basically gave a penalty to Brighton last season based on a clash of heads and the ball kind of accidentally landed on Saliba's head.
Don't even remind me of that.
That's what I'm saying.
It's terrible.
You're saying that they're kind of together and everything, but they weren't really. Daniel's in the chat. Big up, mate. How are we?
Has anyone actually listened to the
audio?
Up?
Yes,
What
I have,
was
yeah.
that?
Yeah, you listened to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird they were going through every. When have you ever seen them go through instance on a corner for every clash, every duel?
No, but that's what I was saying. That they're
Yeah.
kind of looking for something.
Yeah, I mean, when Dom said that when he went to screenings, he was a bit more confident. I was not confident at all. I thought it was a fairy tale storybook thing for the Premier League to do. Send him to the screen on purpose. Chris Kavanagh to put his mic on and say it's a goal. And it was one for the ages, one for the ages. Premier League.
Do you know he's getting accused of being an Arsenal fan now?
Of course.
Yeah. He sent off Trossard against City for that last kick of the half.
That was Oliver. No, he sent off Rice. He sent off Rice.
Yeah. That
Was it Kavanagh that sent off? Was it Oliver that sent thingy off there?
Yeah, Oliver sent off Trossard. Chris Kavanagh sent off Declan Rice.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that Declan Rice one. That was for the kicking the ball away, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because the Arsenal game's on a Monday next week. It is possible that I might have got a booking which gives me suspension for next Monday by kicking the ball away last night. Oh no, I'm not available, lads.
Oh no, that's a shame.
Well, I mean, just in terms of being there, obviously it was at the other end of the ground, and you had no idea what was going on. They scored, and literally I saw 5, 10 more people just up the stairs. They were off. They thought it was over. It was done because you didn't see any type of infringement. You just heard their fans 60,000 going crazy. You just thought at that point.
Yeah, well, I watched a TikTok of a West Ham fan watching it. And obviously they've all gone, oh yeah, it's a goal, this, that, and the other, and then they've gone, oh, they're looking at it, and he was like, yeah, it's never a foul, that, and he's like, what? And
was it Key Thomas? Oh, so sorry, he's a
no, well, I can't watch that guy anymore. I can't.
To be fair, the moment the ball went in, Raya came up immediately and said it was showing like.
And Arteta was doing the same, and they were saying it was they said it was a handball, and it was
that's what they thought.
That's not what they were saying at all.
The moment I saw and Trossard, I saw a post that Trossard said that the moment the ball went in, Trossard asked Raya that what happened. He said he was pulling my arm. The moment he said that, I knew that no, they had to go and check that. So, like I said, the moment I saw it immediately, I mean, the ball was actually right there for Raya to actually grab. He wasn't even going to punch it. He was going to grab the ball.
Yeah, it was in his hands.
Yeah, it slipped through his fingers while what's his name again? Is it Fernandez? What's his name?
One was Pablo, and the other was it Pablo, and the other was
Tadiba.
So his hand was still holding Raya's hands while Raya was trying to catch the ball. So there was no way, no how he was going to be given. I think it's just
this
a talking
is
point
PGMOL
because
we're talking about.
It took 5 minutes for this whole thing to be sorted out. That was the point. It took 5 minutes, and then again the whole Arsenal corners,
Barcelona.
It was just a messy situation.
Yeah,
and
then we're going to get this right from. I mean, I don't know who he supports, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, doesn't it?
It looks like a Chelsea fan, though, but I'm just guessing. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand the
Jones,
asterisks. Like, I don't understand the asterisks. Like, you win the league or you don't, right? I mean, you get the point. Arsenal have won more games this season than they have ever won in their history. Like, you know, is it pretty every time? No, but that's as much on the opposition as it is on us. And you don't have to win a Premier League by playing pretty football. There is no rule to say that. What we're doing, taking it away from Jose Mourinho, taking it away from some of the scrappy ones Ferguson won, like his last one. And I'm not criticizing these managers, by the way. I'm just merely pointing out that there is more than one way to win. Are we taking away the Invincibles because we were scraping draws towards the end? Like, you know,
well, most people do, to be fair.
but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, it is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
My beef is since 2004 when we last won it up until now. Man U has won it, Chelsea has won it, Liverpool has won it, City has won it. All these teams have won it multiple times. Arsenal is about to win it. Everybody's shouting and crying. Like, I don't understand. We don't have the right to win the Premiership.
Yeah, because
what I'm getting. Like,
they know they have to reflect. Then they can't deflect anymore. That's
like,
what
what's the big deal? Okay, we've won it this year. Someone else come and win it next year. If we can repeat.
Yeah,
it's not like it's nobody's birthright.
Yeah, well, exactly. Everything goes in cycles, doesn't it? At the end of the day, but I'll tell you what. I mean, I'll be more than happy to get off 13 anyway. That 13 number is not far too long. That is. We've had 13 on there, but yeah. Daniel said first thought was a pen. Once it wasn't.
I think this is the Madison one.
Oh,
we were
yeah,
talking about Madison at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Tottenham was Spurs.
I thought it was saying that obviously once it kind of let Raya off, he thought it was a penalty. But yeah, the thing is with that decision as well, nobody, not even the VAR, even looked at Souček taking down Havertz, and that was the first thing that happened.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I'm pretty much sure they saw it. Probably, I'm sure they saw it because
but they didn't put it in frame at all. They just didn't even put it in frame.
Yeah, I just believe it didn't matter though, but the ball didn't go to any of those fouls. The ball went straight.
Yeah, but he could have gone. He could have gone towards him because he was on the direct path of it.
Yeah, true.
And what you said there, T, is key. I don't know why they're looking at all the instances because the ball can only go to one place in the box. So to look at
that's the guidance they've said as well, isn't it? If it's immediately affected
the trajectory of going for Raya, if he wasn't impeded, he would have caught it with ease, gone on the floor, wasted time, took a booking, and the game was done.
Well,
so
just launch it or whatever,
well off the ball was just it just stunk, and I just thought, you know what, it's going to happen again. Chris Cavan and naming lights, and we're going to be just a laughing stock online and be screwed over.
Yeah, bottle job FC and all that crap.
Yeah, I mean, we still do have to get over the line, of course, but you know, I've been all season, and I'm not changing my mind now. Although I do love the flip flop from some quarters where we're not winning the league because of this manager. This manager's going to win us the league, and it's all because I've been criticising him. Get it? Just do one.
I really don't understand that concept at all because all the time that these people, and I'm sure you've had this comment on the pods that you've shared with those people as well, where they basically go, he can't win it unless everything's perfect. If everything's perfect, then he'll win it. But you're like, well, everything isn't perfect, is it? Because you're disgruntled because he's not doing the things you wanted to. So how can you ever say that anything's been perfect? Because you've literally gone and you're holding it against him because he hasn't played Lewis Skelly enough for you, or he hasn't played Norgard enough for you, or he let Ranieri go on loan. You don't know what the criteria behind that is. I mean, does seem to turn out that maybe Ranieri has a bit of an attitude and they're trying to work it out of him. But we only know that what we see from the outside. He's in the dressing room. You don't know what he's saying in the dressing room. But
it's the same when they say, "Why didn't he play this player when he's injured?" Well, you don't know. You literally don't know. Like, you know,
I was watching. Was Bowl stream. I can't remember which stream it was, and there was Wolfie on there as a Forest fan, and he was basically saying, "Oh yeah, Arteta's just shit, and he does this and he's shit, and he doesn't know what he's doing and he's shit." And it's like, he said something about Calafiori, and he was like, he was pulled off because he was injured. No, he wasn't injured. How the fucking hell do you know? You don't even support the club, let alone bloody be in our dressing room. What the hell what's it got to do with you anyway? And it just like, yeah. But I saw another video. He's a Forest fan, right? And I saw another video and given it from a Palace fan, where he's basically said, "You deserve this humbling. You think you support Real Madrid or whatever it is, and you now know you support Nottingham Forest," which I thought was quite nice. But there you go. The Saka and Henry interview was telling re-injuries and him playing injured. I haven't heard this one, but I've heard the one from Ødegaard where he basically said he kept having relapses of the same injury, and it's kind of now cleared, and he feels like he's coming back to his form. So, you know.
And I hope so, because he's a fantastic player. Makes us better when he is on form. You know, like
yeah, I mean,
we are a better side with him in it.
Yeah, I agree. And he does start the press and everything. And I know I've probably been critical as well of him. And you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're all
rightly so, right? He's not been good for 18 months,
whatever. But you know, he hasn't.
But you know, that doesn't mean he's a bad player. And you know, if he doesn't get back to his form, then yeah, we have to start looking at it. It's been a long time, but you know, if he can get back to his form, and I think he can, then we are better with him. I don't think that's deniable.
So I'm going to put another hypothetical on, or actually Sky did it with to Ian Wright. But if we win the double, does it usurp the Invincibles, or is the Invincibles just still the biggest accolade that the club has? I'm talking in Arsenal history, right? I'm not talking about anybody else. I'm not saying it usurps anybody else's history. I'm just talking ours.
I think it usurps them in terms of achievement, but in terms of a better team, they're not a better team than the Invincibles.
No.
If you do a combined 11, I think it'd be more dominated by the Invincibles. But to win the league and Champions League, that's nothing to sniff at. You can't take that for granted. That's the sensational season in any season. We thought the Invincibles were on course to do that in their season, 03-04, and the wheels fell off.
Treble, wasn't it? Treble was on.
Yeah, in the space of 7 days, the wheels just fell off.
Yeah,
and they had to settle for the unbeaten season. So, yeah, I mean, you can't.
I love that, settle for the unbeaten season. It happens every other year.
Just settle for the gold one. But yeah, I mean, a league and Champions League double. Such a difficult thing to achieve. It's not done. I mean, how many teams have really done it in their history? Not many. So I think
not in England anyway.
Yeah, in terms of achievement, it'll be the best in our history. But for sure, they're not a better team than the Invincibles, in my opinion. But yeah, I think what on recording the Unforgettables, I think that's fitting. We remember this forever if we do the double.
I don't think even
if we're in the league, I think if we're in the league, we're going to remember it forever because it's been so long. You know,
I was just going to make that exact point, SJ.
It's been so long. We're not going to forget these players because we've got that feeling back. You know,
but the thing is, if you win the double, the club as a whole will always remember the team that won the first, the double, the European double, winning the league and Champions League. But if they win this league right now, everybody that experience it never forgets because it's been like 22 years and all that. But the thing is, the Invincibles, it's right there on its own. Like it's a different pedestal. Like you win the EPL without losing a game. It's different. It feels different, you know. And yeah, I understand. Like you said, SJ, this team is not better than the Invincibles teams. We all know that. Like if you do, it's going to be hard. Maybe Raya, Saliba, and Gabriel get into the Invisible team. Maybe every other position is locked. talking about Pires, Henry, Ljungberg, Bergkamp,
I mean, I think
Vieira.
Saka gets in over Lumba, but not this season.
Well,
Even that invincible season, Ljungberg was on.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If you compare the two
Yeah.
seasson, but if you took Saka as
Exactly.
a player, you drop Saka in.
Except
But if
the-
you compare
yeah,
the two
I get
seasons,
it,
you're
yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah.
So it's I mean, win the league and the Champions League double, that's incredible. The invincible also stands alone on this one. So it's gonna be hard to say one usurps one. But if you look at it based off of achievement, like SGS said, you definitely have to choose the team that won the league and the Champions League, because that achievement is more than winning what's it called? Winning the league alone. And I mean, the gist is, if we win the Champions League, we probably get a golden Champions League trophy, because we'll be the first to have done it unbeaten in this new format. I don't know how true that is.
I don't think there is such a thing. To be honest.
I think that is literally one of the biggest rumors gone. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not true. It's not true.
it's snowballed. Yeah.
Yeah, it is just not true.
I mean, just quickly on your question, Spots, I agree with these guys, and I think even if we only win the league, it won't be forgettable because of how long, as SJ says. But the double, I think, is probably in our history would be massive, because it's the first time we won the Champions League, and I think that takes, as SJ again said, takes the club to a new level. But I think in terms of football history, the Invincibles is obviously the bigger one, because it hasn't happened since Preston North End, and that was something like 20 games in 1900 something. But right now I would just take one of them. Like if you said you've definitely got one of them right now, or you can risk it for both, I'm just going to take the one, because we desperately need something. But God, I hope we win both. It would just be amazing. I think it would be a real massive boost for the club, and it would really validate the efforts they've made, both players, coaching staff, and owners, all three. Not both, all of them, and give the fans something to celebrate and treasure for a lifetime. Like it would mean so much to everyone. So, good God, do I hope we get over the line on that?
Yeah, I do as well, especially
just
since
to ask,
going to the game.
You guys know the history more than me, because you guys in the UK. Preston North End, did they win the league when they went unbeaten?
Yeah, they did, but it was like 20 games. It was in 19.
I just wanted to.
It was like 14 games.
Yeah, it
wasn't many games.
It wasn't many games because the league was very
wasn't
small.
it? It was 2 points. 2 points.
2 points. Yeah,
a picture. Yeah. So, yeah, it was 2-1-0, wasn't it? So it was like.
But then again, at that time, it would have been seen as an achievement anyway. So
there you go.
It's
I've got it here. It was earlier than I thought it was. It's 1888 to 89, and they won 18 games and drew 4 out of 22. Oh. So 1888 to 89. So I mean that shows you how long ago it was, and we mustn't forget that they did it, because they still did it, but it was obviously a very, very different world in those days. Queen Victoria was on the throne, for God's sake.
Yeah, so it was 22 games unbeaten. They went
22, 18 wins, 4 draws.
I mean, Unai Emery did that for us, didn't he? Unai had that same run, so nothing.
Yeah, forget that. But yeah, I completely agree with that. It's just it's not. It doesn't usurp the Invincible era or the Invincible team by any stretch for me. Obviously.
So if we do win the league or Champions League or both, do you think we're capable of creating a dynasty?
The thing is,
absolutely, I believe
to retain. It's not as simple as just we'll do it again next season.
I mean, we've never retained the Premier League.
Yeah, true. Actually, we haven't. Yeah.
So we've never retained it, but yes is the answer. I think I talked about this very early in the season. I do believe that, because I felt Liverpool were going into a rebuild, and that was before it all really, really, really fell apart. I felt that Pep was likely to go. That might still happen, and I felt that made Arsenal the preeminent
very likely, apparently.
Yeah, and I felt Arsenal were really building towards that. The squad is still relatively young. It's on an upward trajectory, and I'm a very big believer in football being cyclical. That you go through sort of phase where 1 or 2 teams are really dominant, and I think we're coming into a dominant period. But that is very, very much predicated on Arsenal winning the league this year. They have to do that. They don't win that, I think it goes the way of Pochettino and Tottenham. Hopefully not to the same extent it's gone to Tottenham now, but I genuinely think it can go one way or the other for Arsenal. I don't think this is going to be one and done. I think it will be one and many, not necessarily next season because we've not retained it, but ever in our history in the Premier League. But I do believe that this could be the start of something really, really big. I felt since we were bottom of the league that August after we lost to Brentford, United, and Chelsea, was it? I felt that I could understand what Arteta was looking to do, and and build from there. I've always felt that was coming, and I thought it might be last season rather than this season. But that's how long I felt that this sort of thing was coming, not necessarily to the point we've got a 22, 23 man squad of the quality we have, albeit, maybe not quite as good as we thought it was in August, as we discussed before. But I felt this was coming and that we were going to win things under Arteta. I always felt it. And now I believe he can go on and do more if he gets this league over the line this season.
Yeah, so the thing is, for me, you need to look at the numbers and then the performances and how it's been for the past 3 years. I mean, we all know that the first year, 2020, was like, okay, Arteta is getting into the game. Up until 2 seasons ago, that was when most of us felt that, okay, we can actually win this league. And he's been consistent, second for the past 3 seasons. In the Champions League, it was quarterfinal, semi-final, and now it's the final. So there's progress. You can see it. And also the stability in the team right now. And like Dom said, the team is very young. It's a young core that you can actually build on and improve on. What we've always been saying is get the first one over the line first. That's it. Get the first one over the line first. If Arsenal win the league and the Champions League this season, that is a massive boost. First of all, the players right now, as young as they are, they will believe that they can do it again. And that's the thing. You need to have belief. And yes, I'm not looking at winning 4 straight like Pep did with Man City. I mean, that was a fantastic team under a fantastic manager with fantastic budgets. So that's how Man City built their dynasty. But if we do the double this season and look at this same team and give them 5 more years, there's nothing stopping this team to win 2 more titles in the next 5 seasons after this one. And who knows, maybe another appearance in the Champions League final. Because right now, there's not enough, not a handful of teams better than this particular team in Europe right now. And if you look at all the teams that you will call, you want to call Bayern Munich, Barcelona, PSG, those are the only 3 teams you will call right now that you can say, okay, maybe they are at the same level of this Arsenal team or maybe better. And if you look at all of them, it's not so far. And Bayern Munich even have some players that are aging, unlike this Arsenal team. So yes, get the first one over the line first. That's the thing. That's why this league is very important. The Champions League, yes, is also as important, maybe even more. But right now, the focus is win the next 2 games and you win the league. Win that, you're champions. Then it tells you that yes, we are capable of winning. And again, it's Pep. It's the same. What's the word? It's the same. It's the same monkey on the shoulder that has been our problem for the past 4 seasons, and you end up beating that same manager. It lets you know that you can do it. Because I can't remember the stream and the video I watched. Like, imagine if Pep wins this season and then leaves, then Arteta wins next season, then be like, oh, but he couldn't beat Pep. So there are so many ghosts that this team needs to get rid of. Pep is one of them. Winning the league or winning the Champions League or both is also one of them. Once you do it, the players know that they are champions. They know that they can do it. Every game becomes different. All this control, being cautious, it will not be like that next season because you know that you are champions, you can win, you will go out and play. The same thing. That's exactly what happened this last couple of games where Arteta decided to use Lewis Kelly. I mean, look at it. Kelly hadn't been playing the Premiership for so long that we all feel that that's it. He's not playing again. All of a sudden, in the last 2 games, he's been playing the games. As in, nobody expected. I mean, we were here before the second leg of the Atletico game. We did not expect Lewis Kelly to start in the midfield, but all of a sudden, he started, and we saw exactly why he did that. So the belief needs to be in this team. They need to believe that they can do it, and you get that belief by getting the first one done. It's just like that quote. Remember that and the Batman quote in the Justice League movie where Flash was like, what do I do? What do I do? And Batman says, save one. Just save the first one. Once you get the first one, you know what to do. And that's what happened. He got the first person out, then all of a sudden, he started getting them out there. So let's just get this league over the line first. And I believe that once we win this league, the way the boys will approach the Champions League final will be different. We will see it. That's just we will see it.
Yeah. On that rousing note, I think we can just about end there. We're gonna just want to respond to this. I think it's a lot harder to win things today compared to the Invincibles era, purely based on number of games. I don't think it's necessarily based on the number of games. I think it's more competitive league. In terms of that, there's more money spread around. Obviously, there's
better quality players,
better quality, lower down players, if you like. That's not to undermine those teams. It's just to kind of set it out, really. But yeah, other than that, I think I worry about the first one and worry about the second one after that.
Yeah, agreed.
Just guys, wanted to talk about just quickly, just briefly about David Raya saved yesterday.
I think the one thing I would say is before that, the Gabriel block as well. By the way, is all as important as the Raya saved, and I think that's been overlooked a little bit because of
the amount of blocks.
The
amount
the previous
of
game
Gabriel
was
has put in this season.
well. Gabriel it was aerially, he was ridiculous the previous game as well, and it was so good. So
I watched my match reaction back instantly after the game, and it was honestly one of the worst videos I've ever done. And it kind of shows the emotion you're going through because you forget half the things that happen in the game. Like, I know you're trying to do it in 3 minutes, you can't get it all in anyway, but just like I was like an emotional wreck trying to do that one, and you know, I mentioned that because you're right. Everyone is rightly praising David Raya for that save, but the Gabriel block was huge, and you're absolutely right to bring it up, Sparks.
Yeah,
Championship playoffs has gone to extra time. Just in case.
I haven't even brought it up, to be honest. I don't even know who's playing.
Southampton, Middlesbrough.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
1-1.
I could say they managed to score then. Good. That's an upside. It was 0-0 the first leg. It was like pouring his dishwater. But yeah, I would say as well for Saliba makes things look so easy, man. It's just unbelievable. I think he gets overlooked because of how simple he makes things look, and they're just not.
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous.
And he's not been in so many key positions like Gabriel, like those blocks, last ditch tackles, headers, and everything, and scoring goals. Gabriel has scored so many important goals for us this season. Saliba has just been, he's been that player. He's been very consistent, very, very, we say professional. Yeah, he's very professional at his job. For me, he's still our best defender.
Yeah,
but this season, I think it's to do Gabriel has been outstanding.
To do a Gabriel song as well, because Gabriel does one little thing and then his song goes off, and you just everything gets tenfolded. Every little thing he does, and Gabriel's song goes off. So I agree. Saliba gets overlooked. I think he's a Rolls Royce. He's so composed back there. He's been there for the last couple of years, you know.
He has.
They complement each other really well. I would say about Gabriel, I think he's been good aerially, but I think in the last couple of months, his passing, his footwork has just not been. It's just been really annoying me.
I wonder if he's fatigued, man.
He's just kicking the ball off, and but actually, he's.
Yeah, sometimes he could go out to the wing quicker.
Yeah,
and he does that. You know, the turn on the spot with the ball under his foot. He does it a little bit too much for me, but there we go. Well, there we go. Right, chaps, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate you. If you are watching the live, please make sure to hit the like, subscribe, share out, and if you've got any comments, drop them in the comment section, and we'll get to them when we get to them. We'll see you next time. Probably be Thursday if people are available. But yeah, in the meantime, have a great evening, and we'll see you next time. Good night.